What's up, everybody? Enerjex here, and welcome to this animation. Well, I know right now you guys probably seeing the title are gonna be wondering, what? Teacher stole your book? Well, let me get just one thing straight, right? This happened a long time ago, back in the age-old time of 2010, when I was 9 years old. So yeah, this is not present-day Enerjex story. This is a past day Enerjex. You know, the little 9-year-old Enerjex time to 2010. I remember in elementary school, I didn't really have that many friends. I only really had one friend, but he had other friends. But hey, I remember my class, my teacher, because we didn't have recess past third grade. Like past third grade, they didn't give us recess. I don't know if you guys get recess, but I didn't get any. So my teacher, instead, what she would do is that she would give us time in her classroom to grab a book and read. And either you could bring your book from home, and I did not have any books at home. And let me tell you this, I was a pretty smart fourth grader. Got straight A's, you know. And still am a bit of a nerd, you know. And then never got beaten up though, never. Okay, so in her books, I mean, a kid, like, I didn't want to fucking read this book, Everybody Poops. Those were the books right there. Curious George, Everybody Poops. I don't know, I didn't really feel like reading them, and when I did, I just read them really quickly, and then I got bored. But then, in the back part of the bookshelf, like, it was a pretty old book. It had a hardcover book, and it said World History Book. But it wasn't like one of those textbooks that they give you at school. No, it was like a legitimate history book. And I remember the cover had Vikings, knights, freaking fighter planes, and I was like, oh my god, this looks so cool. I remember I had a Roman soldier right there. And so I started opening up the picture, and all I read were a lot of tiny words everywhere. But on the sides of the book, there were pictures, there were descriptions of stuff. There were catapults, Vikings, knights, descriptions of their armor, their weapons, you know. At first, I would look at the pictures and just stay in one section because the book was pretty thick. Like right now, it wouldn't be so thick, but for 9-year-old me, I mean, I read that whole book from Mesopotamia to World War II. I'll tell you why I stopped at World War II real quick. Okay, let me tell you. Then it comes to this day, right? This day at school, and they're talking to us about World War II. Let me tell you this. I was spewing out facts. You know, I was laying down facts. The kids my age didn't really knew. They didn't really know that stuff. My teacher was, let me tell you, she was a little bit weirded out. And she asked me how I knew all that stuff, right? And then, with such pride and joy that somebody asked me how I knew all that stuff, I told her that I found a book in her bookshelf talking about world history. And then I learned about the wars, I learned about the Roman battles, I learned about the Colosseums. I told her everything I learned about, right? Let me tell you this. My teacher, I wasn't paying attention to my teacher at that time, but I can tell you she was freaking out. I could tell in her head, she was like, how did this kid find this book? Like, why did I have this book? And, well, then the bell for lunch rings, and I'm like, no, this and that. And, you know, we're just going through back and forth, we're arguing about it. And then I'll tell them, hey, when we get back, I'll look at the book, right? And I'll show you guys what it says, right? So the bell rings, we all head back up to class, I go in there, and it's reading time, because reading time was always after lunch. It was in the place that I left it, because right before we left to lunch, I left it in the same place I always leave it. I left it at the top shelf so that no other kids could get it, because I was still a pretty tall kid at the time, right? I tried looking for it everywhere. I even looked behind the shelf, I looked everywhere, and I could not find it, right? And then I go ask my teacher, say, oh, I'm like, Miss, the history book I was telling you about isn't here anymore. She's like, oh, it isn't? Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe it's gone. I don't know where it could be. Oh, my God. Miss, she wasn't a horrible teacher. Like, she was like a nice person, right? But, oh, my God, that made me really angry. And I could tell, like, in her eyes, right? And she was constantly looking at her bag. Right, she was looking at her bag, like at her purse. She had this big, like, reusable cloth bag that she carried around, right? And I could tell that the book was in there, but I wasn't gonna go open her bag and grab the book because technically it was her book. I was just, you know, reading in her class, right? When I was leaving from her desk that day, that my book disappeared. In the corner of my eye, I looked at her bag, and I could see my book right there. It was just looking at me. It was like, so yeah, I never saw that book again, and nobody ever did. Teacher took away my favorite book. So yeah, guys, if you guys like this animation and this story, and you guys want to hear more about this stuff, please electrify that like button. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to hear another me chatting about stuff like this and doing another animation, well then I suggest you hit that like button. And I'll do another one like this if we reach 50 likes. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.